talking about Fibonacci retracement levels, which can indicate levels to which the price could retrace to before resuming the trend. So a very simple tool, but very helpful, guys. And so I'm going to be using TradingView here for today's video. Again, completely free to use. So head on over to TradingView if you want to follow along here. And I'm going to start by using ticker symbol SPY, which is the SPY ETF. Now, the very first thing I want to do here is show you guys where you find this tool and how you add it to your chart. So first, you want to go over to the left here and notice that there are multiple different tabs. You want to go into this tab right here and click this arrow button. When you click this, it will expand and you will see multiple different options. You want to focus on this option right here that says Fib Retracement, and you want to click on this option here. Make sure it has this icon. So go ahead and click on that. Now in a little bit, I'll show you exactly how you want to add this to your chart. But for now, I'm just going to show you guys the basic concept here. So the concept is you're going to find a point on your chart and you're going to start by clicking on that point. And then you're going to find a second point on your chart. And that's where you're going to plot the second point here, okay? And so I'm just going to go ahead and plot my second point around this area here, but I'm going to go ahead and extend it out. So it's going to look something like this right here, okay? So this is what it should look like by default. Now, as you can see, it's kind of messy. We see multiple different background colors, multiple different numbers on the side. So I like to go ahead and change the default here. So I'm going to go into the settings here and change a couple of different things. So number one, the most popular levels are going to be the 0.382 level, 0.5, and 0.618. So I'm just going to go ahead and hide these other two levels here. So this one and this one. And like I mentioned, we have multiple different background colors, which can kind of get messy. So I just want to go ahead and hide those background colors by clicking here on this background option. And now I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. And so now it should look a little bit cleaner, okay? Now, what do we see here? We see multiple different horizontal lines. So these horizontal lines that you see here will indicate where support and resistance are likely to occur. And as you can see, each level is associated with a percentage. So this level, you'll see 0.382, so that would be 38.2%. This level is 0.5, so 50%. This level is 0.618 or 61.8%. And so these percentages is how much of a prior move the price has retraced during this move that you basically plotted here. So from here, which is the swing high, to down here, which is the swing low, right? If it were to go back up to this first retracement level, which is the 38.2% retracement level, that would mean that it retraced 38.2% from the move that it made from the swing high to the swing low. If it went to 50%, it would mean that it went from here to here, and then from that, movement, it retraced 50% back to that level. That's how you read these percentages. Now, I do want to quickly show you guys where these percentages come from, because they're not just randomly made up. They do come from a certain area. And so to understand that, we first need to understand the Fibonacci sequence. So let me first explain that here very quickly, guys. So if you've taken math in your life, chances are you at one point learned about the Fibonacci sequence. But again, let me just quickly explain how the Fibonacci sequence works. So basically, you keep on getting new numbers, and the way you generate each new number here is by adding the two previous numbers. So you can kind of pretend that there's a 0 here that's not shown, and you start by adding 0 and 1. So what do you get? You get 1. Now you add these two, 1 plus 1, what do you get? You get 2. Now you add 1 plus 2, what do you get? You get 3. 2 plus 3, you get 5. So on and so forth. Now you may be wondering, what does these have to do with the percentages that we are seeing? So here's where it gets very interesting. If I take any of these numbers and I divide it by the next number or the number after that, you start to get the exact same percentages. So for example, let's say I take 144. What do I get if I divide 144 by 233? Well, let's take a quick look here. If I take 144 and I divide it by 233, what do I get? 0.618. Where have we seen 0.618 before? Over here, right? That's one of these retracement levels, 0.618. Interesting, right? So now what if I take 144 and divide it by 377? Well, again, let's take a look. So now if I take 144 and divide it by 377, what do we get? 0.382. Where have we seen 0.382 before? Yes, that's right. That is one of these retracement levels. And again, what's interesting is you can do that for all of the numbers in the Fibonacci sequence. Now, one thing to note, guys, is that 0.5 is not a Fibonacci ratio, but it is still heavily used. It is still deemed as very important. That's why it's added here. That's why I leave it on here, okay? But it is not technically a Fibonacci ratio. And so the idea is that these Fibonacci numbers are found throughout nature in so many different ways. And so many traders believe that these numbers, these ratios, have relevance in the markets as well. And that's why they use this tool. Now, a very common mistake, again, that a lot of traders make is using this tool by itself. What we want to do is we want to use it in parallel with other indicators to give us a higher probability of getting our trades right. Because again, these horizontal lines potentially represent areas of support and resistance, but it's not always going to be the case. What we can do is we can add other indicators which will give us a higher probability of the trade being in our favor. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you two examples here as to how you can use this in parallel with another indicator and basically how it all works. So let's first take a look at a bullish example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this new chart here. This is using Microsoft. Okay, and as you can see, I've already plotted the Fibonacci retracement levels here. So again, how do you plot this? How do you properly plot this? Again, the idea here is you want to identify a swing low and you want to identify a swing high. So during this period in time for Microsoft, right, what would have been our swing low? Our swing low would have been this, because this is the lowest that it got before making a high here. So this would have been a swing low. Where is our swing high? Our swing high was up here because this is the highest that it got to before going back down, as you can see. So here would have been our swing low, here would have been our swing high. So I plot my first point here, I plot my second point here, but I extended it out over here so that these lines extend out. So that again, these could potentially serve as areas of support and resistance. And we can kind of see that it did, right? Because this first retracement level, notice that it touches it here. And what does it do? It acts as support, it bounces back up. Similarly, again, down here, it touches this area, this Fibonacci retracement level, and it acts as support again, bounces back up. Now, again, you can't just use this tool by itself, right? So what do we do? Well, first, what we want to do here is determine the trend in the market. So the way we do that is we go to indicators and we search for the EMA line. So we're going to add an EMA and we're going to use the length of 50. So we want to add a 50 EMA line. This will give us a lot of benefits here. The first benefit is it's going to tell us the trend. What was the trend for Microsoft during this period of time? It was in an uptrend. How do we know that? Because if we take a look at the 50 EMA line and the price of Microsoft was above the 50 EMA line. The 50 EMA line was pointing upwards. That lets us know Microsoft was in an uptrend during this time. Why is that important? Why do we care? Because you don't want to trade against the trend. The trend is your friend. So during this time, since Microsoft was in an uptrend, we probably only wanted to look for long positions, for buying opportunities. You didn't want to short because you don't ever want to go against the trend. And so now that we understand what the trend was, right, we were in an uptrend, we know that we're looking for potential buying opportunities. Now, here's the second reason why this 50 EMA line is very important and it can help us out a lot here. Remember, EMA lines a lot of the time serve as support and resistance for the stock. And so since we plotted this EMA line, we knew that when the price got close to it, that it was probably going to serve as an area of support or resistance. And here is what's very interesting and what you want to look out for. You want to look for where the retracement level intersects the 50 EMA line. Why? Because again, like I just mentioned, the 50 EMA line a lot of the time serves as support and resistance. We know that the retracement level serves as support or resistance. So here, right, where they basically crossed each other, we have a very strong confirmation that this is going to be a support. Because not only do we have support from this retracement level, we have support from the 50 EMA line. We also know that we're in an uptrend, so it's very likely that it's going to continue going in the uptrend. And so when it got to this area, this could have been a very strong confirmation to potentially buy. And in fact, what would have happened if you bought? You can see Microsoft climbed up quite a bit after that, right? So we're not just using the Fibonacci retracement tool, we're also pairing it with the 50 EMA to, again, identify the trend because we don't want to go against the trend, and also look for areas where the 50 EMA and a retracement level cross, because that gives us basically double confirmation that that's going to be an area of support or resistance like it did here, and then it bounced back up. Now again, this does not mean that the price can't break through both of these, that this is always going to work, but this will definitely give you a higher probability of success versus just using the Fibonacci retracement tool. Now let's take a look at a bearish example. Let's take a look at NVIDIA now. So again, I went ahead and I already plotted the Fibonacci retracement levels. Again, we wanted to identify a swing high. So NVIDIA came down and then it shot back up. This was the highest it got before making new lows. So this was our swing high. This was the lowest it got before going back up. So this was our swing low. And so I basically plotted the retracement levels, okay? Now, again, we don't want to just rely on these levels. What we want to do here again is first identify the trend. So what we can do is we can go into our indicators and again add a 50 EMA line. So we'll go ahead and add it here, and we'll change this quickly to 50 for the length. So 50. So again, this will allow us to, number one, determine the trend. So since the price of NVIDIA is below the 50 EMA and the 50 EMA is pointing downwards, this lets us know that NVIDIA is in a downtrend here, right? It's in a downtrend. So again, that lets us know that we probably only want to look for short positions. We don't want to look for buying opportunities or long positions because we don't want to go against the trend. The trend is our friend. And again, similarly, this 50 EMA line will serve as an area of resistance here. And so what we want to look for is where the 50 EMA and the retracement levels basically intersect. And again, we saw this happen very close to here. So here again, we were getting not only resistance from this retracement level, but resistance from this 50 EMA line. So when NVDA got close to that level, there was a strong confirmation that it was going to bounce from that level, because again, we have two areas of resistance here. Now we have the retracement level, we have the 50 EMA. Very strong confirmation that there's going to be strong resistance there, that it may not break. And indeed, what happened, right? What happened here? It basically got right very close to that level where these two were going to intersect, the retracement level and the 50 EMA, and then it shot back down quite a bit, right? So you could have been looking for something like this, where it was getting close to this retracement level, and it was also intersecting the 50 EMA. Both of these act as areas of resistance here, so it was more than likely going to bounce down. We were also looking for only short positions here because we don't want to go against the trend. So you could have potentially, shorted right here, basically at the end of the day. And as you can see, you would have made some decent money here. So again, that's how the Fibonacci retracement levels work. They work as areas of support and resistance. And you can pair it up with something like the 50 EMA to again determine first the trend and then try to identify areas where they're intersecting, giving us a very strong confirmation of a potential support level or resistance level. So anyways, if you guys have any questions about anything I just talked about, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Check out the Discord, link to it in the description below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.